good people. Once again, this is the 145 booth, and thank you for joining us for this amazing episode. And I say amazing because I know it is very amazing. I am your host, Lydia Ndwiga. Thank you for your conversations. Thank you for following us on all our social media platforms. And if you haven't yet, we are at the 145 booth. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the 145 booth for such wholesome mental health for creatives conversations. And I'm going to head right straight into our conversation for today. And we have an amazing guest, kama kawa, kama usual, as per usual. And today we have Jacqueline with us in studio. And as per usual, you know I do not introduce them because I will not do as much justice to the introduction as they normally do it. So karibu sana, Jacqueline. Thank you for coming for the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Introduce us. Or introduce yourself to us.
Myself?
Yes,
Myself?
please. Yes, sir.
I am Jacqueline Wanjau. I am an artist manager by profession first, and then and a creative as a whole. And I like people very much.
Just in case anyone was wondering.
Yes.
I like people very much. All right. So we are here to talk about mental health for creatives and basically create a safe space for each one of us. I know being an artist manager comes with a lot.
Yes,
Like you're
it does.
literally now dealing with people.
Yes.
You're a creative yourself.
Yes.
You're dealing with creatives.
Yes.
Who have creative challenges.
Yes.
And who have creative good days.
Yes.
And days that just what's
Yes.
going on today? Can
Yeah.
it be a better day?
Yeah.
And then you have to bring all this together into your personal life and whatever else that you're going through.
Yes.
And I can't imagine how that can look like. And I'm not trying to heap issues on you, though.
Yes.
I know sometimes we usually take a lot of whatever is going on in our lives as if it's such a big mountain, and then you hear someone like, no, that's not that was
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
without heaping that on you.
Yeah.
So maybe as an artist manager, please tell us, what is the meaning of mental health to you? Or what does mental health look like for you?
Balance. As we all know, as you're growing up, you when you're in your, I would say, when you're younger, for me, everything was impulsive. I used to never think that, please. So at that time, mental health wasn't something to think about, because mental health was, you're going to Badare, you're crazy, you are loco. So mental health for who?
For who?
For what? What is
And
that?
what is that?
Yeah.
And then our parents asking us questions like, nini nakustress? Si unakula kwa nyumba yangu? Kitanda ni yangu?
Feelings ni wewe.
Ni wewe.
Feelings is
Yeah.
are you and your bed. The one I bought.
The one I bought.
In my
that
house.
you should not be sleeping on
In my
until
house.
at night.
Yes.
In my house.
In my house.
Mm.
The
With
clothes
my
I
food.
bought.
Mm.
And so we send you to school.
Yeah.
Talk to your teachers.
Yeah.
So mental health to me is about balance. That you're able to balance your personal life and your professional life. For me, as I've just started mentioning, that when we were younger, I was impulsive. As I've grown older, I've learned how to balance. Mine was more impulsive than anything else. I used to just go on impulse because I didn't know what mental health is. As I said, mental health was unaenda madhare. And right now we're learning, especially relatives, when they were drinking too much, and that's when you get to understand, they were going through trauma, so they used substances maybe, or to those extremes. So for me, mental health is balance. It's just to be able to balance emotions outside and inside. Because as you said, my job is mostly people management.
Yeah.
And my main concern is that artist. Like, let's say, Lydia, I work with you. I won't say you're my client, because first of all, artist management, client, you feel like it's not client basis. I prefer that we have a relationship, that at least a friendship has been established, at least, so that it makes it so much easier, because outside there it is
It's
hey,
what you say.
woo. So for me, mental health is balance, just inside and outside.
Yeah.
So whatever you consider as inside and outside. I've been classified as an ambivert when I'm at home. So I like that, because I'm able to recharge, because this is a world out here. Wow.
It's not easy.
No.
Yeah.
And of course, when I'm outside working, I'm no. So I prefer I think of it as balance, in my opinion. Yes, of course,
Alright.
there's challenges. There's days I'll be mad. There's days but I take it all in stride. Once, yes.
I was telling one of my students, as a voice coach, I've ended up having very many friends.
Yes.
Like, that are my students.
Yes.
And one of the things that I really struggle with is finding a balance between our friendship and the class.
Yes.
So there are instances where I'll find myself, we're having class, but for the first 10 minutes, and then you teach for another 5 minutes, and then and somehow by the time you realize it's 1 hour, you probably just had 10 minutes of proper content.
Yes.
So how are you able to balance that, saying that your artists have to first be on a friendship or a friendly basis?
Yes.
I don't know if there's a difference between the two.
Yes.
And how you're able to do that so that by the time you're able to just send them out to whatever needs to be done as an artist manager, you're able to do your work and just basically create a boundary where I am your manager.
Yes.
You are an artist, but we are still friends.
It's easy. Can I say it's
Yeah.
First of all, it's individual to individual.
Yeah.
Because I try as much as possible first to learn about them. Because artist management is very involving. As I've told many of my people, and I have a lot of meetings with them before we decide we're working together. And for most part, we have to click. See no buyer. Because the world out there, it's vicious, especially for women and especially for women artists. So we need to we can't be seeming like we are took on friendly basis if out there it won't work.
It won't work.
No, because you will be tense as the artist, and believe me, I don't want to send you on stage. Well, you're tense, you won't perform well. Meaning, people will feel your energy, because it's energy.
Yeah.
People will feel that energy, and the person who gave us money to bring you there, give us money to bring you there, will not be satisfied. Meaning, it will bring us problems, and we want to build good relationships and maintain those relationships. So, I try. Not everyone is open very fast, but I try to establish boundaries also, and I want to understand their boundaries, that you don't do this or you don't do that. As I said, as more older I've gotten, I've gotten better tools to be able to handle that. And EQ, emotional intelligence, is important.
Very important.
Yeah, because you have to understand that other person has a whole life
away from you.
Yeah, away from you. Yeah, me sometimes I used to think, kwani nini. But you have to understand that person could be a mom, could be a wife to somebody, as a daughter to somebody, and they're human first before anything else. Man or woman, they are human first, and you have to treat them like humans. If I don't feel a good vibe, I'll tell you, I'll be as professional as possible, of course, and also try to give you maybe better other people to work with. If I'm not able to work with you, I won't send you away at because we will meet. The industry is not that big here, and also life has a way of bringing you back into that circle so that you can work your own problems. Maybe you had issues and with that person, but what I've learned is it always brings us back to this thing. So I try as much as possible. Not try, I work at it. Let me not say try anymore. I work at it to be able to get your vibe, first of all, talk to you. Communication is also very important, so that at least I understand from where you're coming from, who you are, because I understand it's very important. And also for me, you get to understand who I am also, so that in case you're feeling Jackie,
kuna kitu hapo hapacho hakileti.
So and I'm learning, of course. I'm not perfect, of course, but not. I try as much as possible. If you have a problem with me, please come. We talk, we discuss it. Yes, and we start off with trial basis, and then uniambie hapa sikuoni boss. Na ama here we can work on this, and we can work with this, and we as human beings, regardless if you don't know, you can actually know vibing. I seen the second meeting, utajua. You will know. Yeah. So that's my way of actually working into friendly and friendship.
Yeah.
So maybe even, of course, there's little difference. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe even before we continue, so that we understand, because we've had creatives on this show, some who are musicians, music educators, TV personalities. Maybe you can tell us, what does it entail to do artist management, and probably go in depth with those, those things, those nitty gritties that we don't get to know. Like, what does it entail? And even for, when we look at it, you're organizing my tours, you're organizing my interviews, you're organizing ABC and D. But for you, that's what I know as an artist. But for you as an artist manager, what does it entail to be an artist manager?
Most of what you've said, first and foremost. Secondly, is as I'm understanding this person, because as I said, they're human first. Before their talent, before their they're human first. So we get to understand that first. So to me, as an artist manager, I would like to take that person to the next level.
Yeah.
Because I've either met you as you're starting, you're in the cusp. I can tell you, uko karibu. So I try. Yeah. So I need to understand where you are at, and then now see with the tools I've been taught with, and as we continue learning, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Lazima ikuwe tu ni hivi. It's a learning process all the time. And as I believe I'm a student of life at any given stage.
At any given stage.
Yes, so ile tunalan pia lazima tulan pamoja. With the tools I've learned so far, because I with the different also people I've had the privilege of managing, I should stop using that word. I work with the artists to get them from point A to point B, and maybe I'll get to a point maybe feel utakuwa mkubwa kunishinda. Hata hivi, let us now put a team together that can take you to the next level. Who doesn't want a team to? You've seen people like Burna Boy. He performed, for example, in the weekend. He performed in Paris. How many times do you hear that?
No.
He's jazzed stadiums, man, and he's not quote unquote the way he started out was it's amazing. It's an amazing story, because I've had the privilege of just meeting the man from afar, Ukopoa, and that's the manager. And I love learning from other managers also, what their experiences are, because as I said, kila mtu, everyone has a personality. And artists have even more of a personality, because they have to go on stage. And being in front of people is... I can be talking nicely like this, but when sometimes I'm in front of people, freeze. So they have a, can I say, presence in the stage that you have to keep working with them, because anything affects them. Everything and anything can affect them. That could be they're having challenges at home. Hautaki ikuje hapo. So as an artist manager, that is part of my job, to regulate them, to help them. If they want to, we go cancelling kidogo unaonaje. You've seen this thing. Yeah. And so as an artist manager, that is really, really part of your job. That hence I said people management, because also you have to manage the people who come to them, because I work with artists who are either introverts, others are extroverts. But just before they perform, they want quiet. But people are our friends, this is free. So you have to manage that. You have to manage that and make sure that they're in the best of at any given time. Regardless if the world is collapsing somewhere, they have to be the best themselves. So your job, my job, mostly is to do that, is to make sure, apart from making sure the schedules are lining and we've negotiated different deals, the best of deals, that is.
Yes. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you something. It is work to be able to negotiate, because as I said, it's people management. And people come with every shape and form. So you can imagine right now I'll have to maybe go out there because the artist is like, who is going to read through contracts, the booklet, Navy. We sometimes receive contracts and you're thinking, ati tunalipanga lawyer pesa ngapi per hour. Yeah, you start thinking maybe hiyo pesa lazima tuanze kuongeza kwa fee yako kwa sababu
because
let me tell you something.
And then you have to go Google certain names, you know.
Yeah,
what is
and
this?
the lawyers have to come, and of course the lawyers also help you, and each and every person. That is, I like making sure every aspect of an artist is taken care of. Could it be how they for example, I want to hear their big dream, then we work backwards. That's my philosophy, that I hear this Korea. See hobby. See hobby. First of all, I have to be clear. Easy hobby, because for me easy hobby.
Easy hobby.
So kama unachukua kama hobby, wacha tufanye hivi, kuna mtu anaweza kusaidia na hiyo. So I have to get connections like that. So my job is really, I'm very involved in. I'll be very involved in your life.
In your life,
because apart from your children, your spouses, your family, I'm next. Just I'm right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressure?
Yes.
Because I mean, if a tour goes bad,
Hey.
if an interview doesn't work,
Hey.
or if God forbid your artist shows up drunk
Ooh.
or not sober,
Hey.
and then here you are,
Yeah.
you're the one in the background. Yeah, and then you see in music, there's this thing we usually make fun of how the producer of the song is never known. It's the artist who's up on mbele. But unfortunately, if the song is bad, we go back and ask the producer. All right? So how do you deal with that? And I know sometimes there might be failures here and now, right? Nothing is ever perfect.
Of course.
How do you deal with that? By the fact that you're the one in the background, you will not be known when things are going right. But you will always be known when things don't go right. Yes. Because everyone will come back, Jacqueline Wanjau, wako wapi? Yeah, and how do you handle that expectation that is on you to deliver what you need to deliver as an artist manager?
We will go back to the beginning where friendship and friendliness. Because by the time we're getting where it's bad, I'll have to have understood what, first of all, hence why I'm saying I'll be very involved in your life, because I have to understand if you have a breakup.
Yeah.
You have to tell me something.
Something.
Yeah.
So that you know how to go around it.
You don't have to tell me details of, nani tuliachana na nini. No. You don't have to go in depth. But so that I can understand if you have broken up with someone, or you're going through a financial crisis, or somebody has died, or something like that. You have to tell me. Hence why we need to be friends. Because I will understand that you are going through something. So when you appear drunk, we'll get you coffee, my friend. My friend.
Or we shall put IV on you so that you can
please.
drain out.
Yes, and I will charge extra for that. Thank you. But hence why it is good to know each other from before, so that they can trust you, and you can be able to trust them, and they trust you, because and if there's no friendship to some level, it becomes really difficult, because I don't know what you're going through. You're still human, but if you have to understand that as a musician or as an artist, I'm part of your brand. If you mess up there, sisi sote tunaumia. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when artists understand that, especially because we work with their brand also, you have to understand also they're human first, and then there's a brand part of it. Yeah. And I've been privileged for so far to work with artists who understand that their brand imo, and it's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm saying kama ni hobby, ni sawa, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby, that's fine.
Atujakata. And we will treat it like that.
Yeah. Just to be sure.
We will treat it like a hobby. Yes. And I might not give you I will give you the expertise I have if it's a hobby. If it's a professional, I will have to treat it also as easy as it is, with all due respect. Thank you. But at the same time, of course, there's pressure. There's pressure outside. As I said, unfortunately, women are not yet treated to how can I put it? They're not, can I say, respected to the maximum? Because sometimes tunaambiwa na sasa wanawake sasa hata mchukuange vitu. No, we've experienced that.
I'm going to ask you if you're related to a certain community.
So you you see, the artist and I have to be able to be friends to be able to take on that, because most of the time I'd like the way I work sometimes is that I'd like to be there before the artist or the DJ who I'm working with, so that I get the environment in Mambiapa. It is bad.
It is very bad.
Ama, it is very good. Let's keep working. But sometimes you can't really tell until you get there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so that's why I appreciate the artists I work with, because we understand, hapa. And outside there, it's bad. So the pressure, how I handle pressure, and especially as you put up a scenario where the artists have become drunk or something like that, we work with we have to understand that time is important. We will go through it, but after that, manze, we have to have a talk.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I want to know, hey, what's going on? Yeah,
And
because I know maybe you
same
don't
time.
drink like that. Maybe you're going through something. And one of the few things I know, I was talking to one of my friends and colleagues that, hey, may I'll start putting, clauses like, hey, you have to have a counselor, or you have to have a counselor. In the contract, I will try as much as possible to work with you in terms of those. Do you have, who else are you working with, so that when we're working with you, you have the best team possible.
Yeah.
Team possible.
Yeah.
Apart from, of course, the account and the lawyers, so we can sue people.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. But anyway, but at the same time, it's good to have people you can talk to, because I would like also to understand your support system.
Yeah.
So, because I believe if we're friends, by the time you're getting there, I will have to have tumeforesee what's going on. Yeah. So I try to work with the situation as it is, and also because I have understood the person from before, I'll know. We're going to get IV, we're going to get either coffee or something like that, the immediate, and then we try work for solutions from there. Because if you're not able to handle an interview, there's no in hell you're going to go to on stage.
You're not going on stage. It's not happening.
And from there, me, I'm not working. With all due respect. Yeah. Yeah, there's no use of putting you through something if you're going through something. Yeah. And if you don't share with me,
how will I
mimi
know?
mimi si ni saka sidekick. That's it. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've already established, like so far in this conversation, we've established that mental health is important.
Very.
Yeah, very, very important.
Yes.
And for you're the one who's actually seeing where the artist is at and probably telling them you need help.
Yes.
Or we need to sit down and talk about A, B, C, and D. So for sure, mental health, a healthy mental space is necessary for you to just make any work, right?
Work. 9 to 5 hours, anyone. Hey, let me tell you something.
Let us not talk about it, but let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah. So for you as the artist manager, which means you have to show up uko sawa.
Yeah.
Who looks out for you?
Hey, sasa. Acha nikwambie. There's tea. There's tea. So, there's tea.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, who looks out for you, and how do you make sure you're in the right space to be able to work with that specific artist or the artist as on the larger scale?
So in my lifetime so far, I have learned to have a good support system first and foremost, and to surround myself with, as I said, good support system. I am so far lucky enough to have siblings who I can talk to. I have aunties and uncles who, when things hit the fan, of course, I make sure they're also older than me, so that they can bring me down. As in, what is the problem, and then we can work out things like that. I occasionally run. That helps, and take many walks. And also try as much as possible to make sure my body is also, I eat right, I hydrate. I hydrate a lot.
No doubt.
Yes. But a good support system. And also not to refuse help, because I used to struggle with that a lot. That I can't ask for help because why? Nesa chisaidia. But there's some days, man, you can't live without not being helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to very
You cannot express how important community is.
Community is important
Yeah.
in your professional life and your personal life. And mine, Kwanzaa, right now I'm really relying on that that support system. I'm really relying on this, because now people have given me, have allowed me to be in their space and are holding space for me, because life is lifing.
Adult is adulting.
And adult is adulting. So, good support system and balance. As I will insist on this one. Balance. Find balance. And because right now I have told maybe the people I work with right now, please bear with me. And communication also helps, because sometimes I might be joking around a lot, and to some levels the people say, "Ay, wait, unakangi mutu serious." But I try as much as possible. I've learned so far that a good support system, work-life balance. Yeah, that one I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I have stories.
Right. So would you like to share with us one or two? I think those are some of the questions I usually ask most of our guests, so that we can understand where you're coming from and how you've been able to deal with the mental health space. What are some of the things that you can remember, or some of the occasions that you can remember that have really affected you mentally, that actually affected your work? And did your artists notice? And how did they deal with it, if they did? Were they kind, ama walikwambia sasa mimi niko na tour na siwezi fanya kazi na mtu ako stable? Yeah.
So far I've been lucky enough to be able to work with understanding people.
Oh, nice.
First, thank you. I'm really thankful about that. Right now, as I mentioned, that I'm relying a lot on my support system due to our father passed on not too long ago, and with that came a lot of it's those situations of okay,
opia wewe,
all right. And also it in my in many families, I'm guessing that it changes your, as a daughter especially, first of the girls in my family, so it changes the dynamics sometimes, because as in, people now start looking, because now, for example, I still getting a lot of phone calls from my relatives. It's like everyone has an agenda of sorts, so you feel what's going on. So you're still grieving and mourning, because now you have lost a parent, and unfortunately, even us, we lost our mother again many years ago now, and now everyone keeps reminding you, you're an orphan now, and you're thinking, not the time.
Or even that question for how does it feel to be
because now fathers are meant to be your it's like, what do they say when somebody older has died, is a library. It's like a library which has burnt down of sorts, or a big tree that has fallen. So he was our, can I say, anchor in my family. So he was seen as somebody who's very important. And then you realize, that man had some sort of weakness. And everyone now is looking at you, because I'm the second born, and then my brother doesn't live here. So you're wondering, everyone is just looking at you. So
expectation.
And then they have skyrocketed, because now it was, can I say, sudden. He was sick for some time. Yes, we had been given, some time, but people didn't understand. It's like we didn't want to believe he can go. And then now dealing with death, because now it's a whole different ball game now, because are you really grieving? Or are you really mourning? Why are you living alone? Why are you not married? Why? You're like...
So it comes into your personal life. And we're supposed to be dealing with my dad.
Yes, battles. Let's deal with one battle at a time.
Yeah.
So there's that pressure. And so far, as I'd mentioned before, that the artists I'm working with so far are very understanding. They're telling me, just take your time. I tend to use work as a way to get away from when I feel the pressure.
Distractions.
So, but I have, this time round, I've said, no overthinking, get a grief counselor. So I've been working with one so that at least I'm able to do balance. And also work has been affected a little bit because, as I said, I tend to overthink. But I have learned two different tools of when I get there, I can, and the people who are working with me can tell me, hey, yeah, relax. You need to go home? Yeah, take some tea.
Yeah. Clearly, we shall never miss tea in this
tea.
studio.
Tea.
Whenever.
Please. Mkikosa tunakosana. But
yeah.
So far, I can say, as I said, I'm relying a lot on my support systems. Whenever I need to talk to somebody, I know, okay, I can talk to this person at any given time. And also working again to see if I can get now back to work-life balance. Because when he was sick, my energy was work. He's going to the hospital. Work. He's going to the hospital. We're looking for money. He's going to the hospital. Yeah. So I had that. Just now, in the last 3 weeks, it's been, you take time and and also feel everything. If you're angry, walk away. If you're, walk away from the situation first and then assess yourself. Because I've also learned where you do breathing things.
Pili.
Yeah.
It's me feelings.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I'm relying a lot, as I said, support system inasaidia sana. And also listening to myself, because also there was that of not looking so outside. I'm forgetting the internal. So I'm also looking internal to be able to know, I'm good at this. I'm good at that. And yeah. And also just understanding the role I play in my family.
In your family.
Yeah, because even them, they're relying on me because I'm also a sister. I'm the eldest of the sisters, so you can imagine sometimes, like my youngest sister, we were talking about maybe a couple of days ago, and she was telling me how, now, because she has someone, I hope she agrees for me to say this, but she was struggling a little bit because, can we trust men now? Those positions in African, quote unquote, African/Kenyan homes where now you're reminded of your gender.
Hey.
So that one comes into play a lot. And slowly I'm understanding, okay, there's no problem of understanding your role as a woman in the family, because some of it comes as to protect you. And some of it, yes, some uncle somewhere can use it against you. But at the same time, when I'm starting to understand that, I'm like, okay, we can use that. We can do that. So stuff like that. So I'm liking. Can I say enjoying the process of learning a lot, but at the same time also looking internal. I'm hoping I've made sense there.
You have.
Yeah,
you have. So I'm sorry, Jackie, for whatever you're going through right now, and I don't know how you're able to put a straight face when you talk about it, and how you're just able to be okay.
Yeah.
But just to ask you this, but we are here. I think that's what. I don't even think. We need to stop saying thinking and trying.
Yes.
The 145 booth is here to create a safe space for each one of us, and so we are here to have honest conversations.
Yes.
Yeah. Just one conversation at a time to just unravel, because sometimes we feel, as you said, mental health is for the people who are going cuckoo at Mathare and whatnot.
Loco.
Yeah. Loco. Yeah. So has this event made you more self-aware? Like, has it made you understand that there are pieces and bits of myself that I haven't been dealing with? There are pieces and parts of myself that I hadn't seen in a better light. And if they're there, have they made you a better person, and how?
Yes. There's spaces of me where I used to take, can I say, for granted. Because there's a sense of security that came with, I have a parent, then why am I worrying? And to be honest with you, I'm a daddy. I was a daddy's girl. And most of the time I joke around because I get my sense of humor from my own father, that, yes, a sense of security. There's, can I say, it's like it's been taken, can I say it's been taken away? No, you feel, my security blanket has gone. Yeah. A bit of it became, how can he leave us? Yeah, because now, we don't have a mum who had...
Like the only...
Yeah,
the
so
only
there was
thing
a sense of stability that has been shaken.
Yeah.
So that I needed to look into myself and say, yeah, hence the adulting part. And also now taking responsibility of some things, because now he was covering us. Of course, one of the few things I liked about my dad is that he taught us quite a few things along the way, and I have kept some I can say, he was born in the 40s. There's some things which are a little outdated, but at the same time, he taught us quite a few things that I'm willing to keep. It has. I felt like I've been feeling like it's exposing me to the world a bit more. I was feeling maybe he was protecting us quite a bit because I'm a girl. I'm a woman, also a girl, and I was also very much his daughter. So I'm feeling like, man, that's what I need. What will we do? You
feel exposed.
Yes, that's the word. I was looking for that word. Yeah. So a bit exposed, but at the same time, that's where now the quote unquote security blanket comes from, the support system. That's where now my uncles come in and say, no, don't worry, we got you.
We got you.
Yeah, you have uncles. I have a big brother also. So, and then he got married the other day. So, so he's like, yeah, you've got family. Yeah. So, they have been as much as possible. Even him, he's going through, of course, the loss and everything. But at the same time, support system doing anisaidia yani hiyo to be able to know that there are people also helps quite a bit. And then I realized, maybe kuna watu wengine hawana watu. Hakuna mtu. How do they deal with that?
Deal with that?
Yes, I've also learned to also rely on the tools I'm given by especially counselors or psychiatrists, especially the grief counselor. That one is the one I'm depending on Kwanzas right now, on how to deal with everything. Am I journaling? Am I screaming into my pillow?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing
Am
now?
I grounding?
Yeah.
Am I zenning?
We're zenning. We're running. While you are lamenting sometimes. And since I'm a believer, there's a whole book of Lamentations. That I was reminded the other day that there's a whole book of Lamentations. Lament away.
Lament away.
So when you're feeling like you want to scream, you get a room like this and you let it out. Do not keep anything in.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the few things I want to say, that you don't keep anything in, because for me, I've learned it festers.
It does.
Because,
and when it comes out, like when it boils over, wacha tusigiriri hapo.
Let me tell you something. Because as I know we had a conversation, I think yesterday, and you asked me something, and it stayed with me since yesterday, that when our mom passed on, for example, I pushed everything in, as in
yeah. At the extra pockets. Unajua mafuta kwa matatu.
I know. Just pushed it in.
Yeah.
10 years later, it exploded on me. Yeah, where it took me to spaces that I didn't think people. Those ones you see maybe on TV or you hear. Those places you get to see.
Yeah.
And it helps me. It helped me also know I'm not going back.
It's not happening. That again. We've known peace.
Yeah.
We've seen how it looks like.
So when I feel like I'm going to go into those pockets of darkness, or when you're feeling like everything is just, there's no, it's like, for me it feels like you're in a dark room, but everything on the inside is, so that light, many people, I've seen many people have a light in their eyes. I don't know, I was telling a friend where there's an auntie, hoping she doesn't know I'm talking about her. Oh, sorry, Auntie. I was telling my my friend that when we were going through the wake process, Mambo Lazy, for my own father, there's a light she doesn't have anymore. And I told my friend, I do not want to, regardless of how the world is, yes, wars are happening and everything around us, but I do not want to lose that light. That ding, or the girliness I have internal, the child in me, I don't want that to go away. I want to be 80 and just be whistling at some dude. But
Jacqueline,
no, I didn't say. Mimi ni Lydia Alisema. Give me ideas. She's down. Give me ideas. Anyways, how I deal with that is I work hard to remind myself that I am not local.
I was waiting for something serious, but okay.
Oh, no. I have something serious. I'm getting there. I remind myself about the support system I have.
Yeah.
The people around me are very intuitive. They're intelligent, and I enjoy their company.
I mean, the people around.
And I don't want to miss that. I want to see them when we're 80. I want us to, be rich on the inside, of course. And of course, the outside.
On the outside. See shida. See shida.
No, need holidays, more holidays and vacations. Anyway, and also getting away. So I take full advantage of that because now my job also comes with, I'm able to travel. And I enjoy that part. Remember, I enjoy travel.
Executive producer Naskia. She enjoys travel.
So one of the few things I love doing is getting to know new places because I have come to see, when you go out there, you see other people's lives. I want to enjoy that, especially Africa.
So just as we wind up, and this is one of an important question that I would like to one of as we wind up, allow me to ask, it's an important question that probably we never really think about much, but do you think that artists are well sufficiently aided in terms of counseling? First of all, we need to establish that the 145 booth is not a substitute for therapy, and we've also acknowledged that a therapist, a psychiatrist, is actually part of your support system.
Yes.
Not because you're cuckoo, not because you're loco,
no,
but because you need help.
Yes.
And in as much as probably we might not necessarily work with them the whole time, we need help.
Yes.
We need help. Creatives need help. And even with every creative who's been here, even when we are having those private conversations with them, everyone is talking about mental health is a big deal with creatives in Kenya and probably around the world. We see them laughing, and then the next thing, so committed suicide, and they're wondering, but they were laughing the other day. Do you think that we are sufficiently acknowledged? And do you think we are sufficiently educated on the issue of mental health? And do you think we are taking it seriously as artists? And do you think we have enough platforms for the same?
Let me start from the last one. No. And we don't have enough material for that. No.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're supported enough. One of the things I've done in my career so far is there's a course I took where it's called First Aid Mental Health, where this course taught us how to help artists. Mostly it's mostly concentrated on when they're about to perform or behind the scenes, because sometimes they can. What I've learned so far is, especially artists, they get really nervous just before they can be experienced. They've been performing for 10 years.
Yeah.
But almost all the time, they're nervous.
Yeah.
And you as the artist manager or the person who works with them needs to
bring them together.
Yes. There's a good nervousness that it means they still enjoy what they do.
They do.
That is one of the few indicators where you learn that artists they're human beings still.
Yeah, they are.
And then there's ones who have big egos, but all these things come into play. The kind of person also, the kind of person they are helps with that also. That's what I enjoy working with. That how do we help you get to the next level? So I'm also learning on how to work with different professionals to be able to help this artist take you to the next level. I mean, to help you regulate yourself and also help you with your emotional intelligence, because you will get crazy at uni fans. Hey.
Yeah.
Unafikiria,
unagalia, unafikiria, unajiuliza tena.
You get emails and you're wondering, or you get some artists also / influencers, and the world we're moving into is not just about the music.
Just about the music.
And I will say, older musicians, I'm happy you were born. Because your time just needed you mostly to be either on radio or on TV. Us, it's every platform.
Every platform.
They have to. So you can imagine the pressure they have. Also, you have to regulate.
You have to regulate.
Yeah, and you have to take that pressure away from them. So that you tell them, concentrate on your artistry. That is my job. Whatever is outside your artistry, me and you can work at it. Some artists just leave it to their teams, as you've seen some of them, and some of them leave it to their record labels. Business ingine mi kasi yangu ni kuimba na kuandika music, mimi hapo nje
na kukaa vizuri na kushow up.
If you tell me to show up at some places, hence why you hear somebody has you hear how old they die of. You get and also maybe there's a story of this creative Twitch. He worked in, it was Ellen shows, I think. He was a dancer. Yeah. One day he was dancing, and he was on the show. Yeah. Next day he died in a motel. He's taking drugs. A year later we all shocked. Oh no, he was going through things. So you're wondering. See, and the platform they're on, I don't want to assume that there was no one who didn't talk to him, or or support system kuliendeleaje, because now that helps me think, kama wow. So no. We need more artist managers, by extension, but we need better tools to be able to help the artists, because they're going through a lot. You can imagine the energy you have to master to be able to write the songs that will hit, that you will get money out of, because you have to think about song naandika. It's not the thing that goes behind the scenes for these songs to come out is a lot. So, and you have to treat this person as a human being. Whatever stories you hear outside there, half of them are not true. But talking from a person who's behind the scenes most of the time. Some of them you hear stories and you're sitting with them, you're thinking, yani, but you can imagine all that. They have to take it all in, and you have to deal with fans, the energy you give, especially when you're on stage. What wataichukuliaje, your pressure. Yes, we don't have enough tools to be able to help these artists, and that's sad. And I want to be an advocate for that. And that's why I will advertise right now that when we are working together, I'd want us to work with different counselors who the artist is comfortable with, so that at least you can be having, apart from me to vent to, you have someone a good support system. Yes, and also a good support system that if you need us to be in those therapy sessions, we'll work with you. Yeah, so hautakuwa peke yako. That's one of the few things I do not believe you can do this. All those artists, you don't understand. There's many people who work behind them to get to where they are. Nice.
Now that you have made yourself very available to us.
Yes.
Very, very available. Right?
Yes.
You want your artists to flourish as much as they can, and you want them to, be the best that they can be. Kuna kitu tunaitaga boundaries. Si ndio? Ndio boundary uko hapa, mimi niko
Yes.
niko hapa, lakini kuna wengine hawaelewagi ya kwamba hii boundary, it's a high wall.
Yes.
So I'm constantly breaking off your wall as much as I can.
Yes.
Let's talk about those 3 a.m. phone calls that you might receive in the middle of the night. You've had a really tough day. You've just slept at 1 a.m. because you're coming from a gig.
Yes.
And then a 3 a.m. call. So, Jackie.
Yeah.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that? And first of all, has it ever happened? Or we are just...
So first of all, it has happened.
Yeah, uko na bahati hauna moto?
Yeah.
Hizo ndizo vitu saa zingine unaulizwa gwana nani anakupigia.
Who's
3
that?
a.m.
Who in the world is that?
And then you say, alikuwa ananiamsha niombe. It's that hour. Prayer hour.
Yeah. It's 3:30. Yeah. The short version is, yes, I've gotten phone calls like that, especially in the beginning of my career. I, being an artist manager, that is. Because first of all, this career, can I say it started off as an accident to some level?
Oops, I'm an artist manager.
A friend of mine at the time told me I DJ in the bedroom. We were like, what? So because we were friends first, now I started laughing. I thought she was joking for real. I really thought she was joking. But it ended up being a very big career. A very big thing she wanted to do. And it was one of her passions. I was like, bet. Let's do this. You want to do what? Let's do this. Then she came with she started off the first few gigs were like, people are not paying us. So I'm like, first of all, we are photographers. We started off as photographers. And I tell her, we can't bring photography problems to music problems. No. What do we need to do? So she tells me this and this person maybe hasn't paid, or this and this person, they're taking too long to do. So I told her, okay, you handle your artistry, I will handle the behind the scenes. So from there, 2018 became a big year, especially for her and for me.
Oh, nice.
And
Look
then,
at you.
like, just pop, your artist manager. I'm like, what happened? What happened?
How did that happen?
Yeah, so doing research and just learning my role for her became a thing. And then that's when now the 3 a.m. sometimes phone calls were happening. And you're wondering, why in Jesus' name, sorry, are you calling me at 3 a.m. to tell me nothing? I understand if it's an emergency. I understand if somebody passes. I understand if there's an accident. I understand.
You get it.
I am an understanding person. Maybe a little overmuch, but I understand.
Just to get it clear.
Yes, but you're calling me for nada? Nothing? So, especially, I learned a lot. I think a lot of us learned ourselves during the pandemic that you don't call me past a certain time. Now I don't take phone calls just. Yeah. If you can't find me, the rules are, if you can't find me after 10, write me a message so that I also can know if I'm going to call you back or not. Or you can wait in the morning. Business can be in the morning.
5 hours, promise. 5 hours. You can go to 5 more hours. Your career will not die.
No.
Promise.
I promise you, unless to go different time zones.
Yeah.
But I promise you.
But even though you're in different time zones, you call me at your time zone that is appropriate for mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because I have colleagues, especially in Africa, I did take a course that helped me get colleagues, especially in Nigeria. So, of course, there's a time difference. They always are very polite and ask. Tunaweza kupiga simu sahi ama kesho. But a lot of them are scheduled now. So I've learned boundary, we learn early.
Yeah.
Because even those artists, man, say, unampigia 3 a.m. Why? But why? Yeah. But why? We can talk in the morning. But why? So those phone calls, yes, as you said, there's people who still chip at them. They try as much as possible to see, how far can we take this?
Let us try. What does this button do?
Yes, and they find out.
Yeah.
They push and they find out.
Jackie, you're so interesting. I think I'd want to have with this conversation for longer.
Yes.
But here goes time.
No problem.
And time zones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
love tea.
Yeah. So the things I'm
cake.
getting. Yeah. Balance.
And cake.
Bound.
Thank you.
So balance, boundaries. Those are the things I'm just getting that for your mental health,
Yes.
and even as an artist manager. And I hope that we are getting to learn a lot over here at the 145 booth. And dear artist, you are safe, all right? These are the kind of artist managers we need, people who understand what mental health looks like. And at the 145 booth, we try as much as possible to make it a safe space, and people who actually understand community and understand, oh yeah, that's something else you said about community and having people who you can actually talk to. Yeah. So maybe you can tell us where we can find you so that tukupatie kasi, tusiende kwa artist manager, wanakuona ukipanic, and then they ask you, Kwani, you haven't done this enough times.
Yes.
You've done this for the last 10 years. Why are you getting nervous getting on stage? So how can we reach you? How can we make you our artist manager?
Sasa wafanya hivi. Mtanipata kwa nyumba. Thank you very much.
Nataka kupatia address tukulete pate. We can come.
Nina hama. By the way. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
So on social media, on Instagram, I use my middle name, which is Nyagodhie.
Hey,
exactly.
You're there.
I like walking. Thank you. In Kikuyu, yeah. Spelled Nyaguth, and then I put a dot normally because Instagram decided it doesn't like my name, and then it's .ii. On other social media platforms, you'll find me as Jacqueline Wanjau or Jacqueline Wanjau, depending on whichever you're feeling very comfortable calling me. But most of the time, it's Jacqueline Wanjau. Yes. This is LinkedIn, X, formerly Twitter. Facebook, although Facebook, I don't use it that often, but...
Unasema Facebook ni watu wazee?
Hapana, hata mimi mse.
Just to
so
be
what
clear.
I have was... because Instagram is more popular.
Yeah.
And then on TikTok. Also, you can find me on TikTok.
Yeah.
DM me too. Nilafu, we will talk from there. Kama una need phone call, una need kunipigia simu, tutaongea kutoka sasa DM.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Hapo ndipo namba itatumwa.
Yes, please.
Jackie, this has been amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
for even agreeing to have talk about your story. It's not easy, and I'm very sorry for the loss of your parents.
Yes.
But thank you for letting us know that it's actually possible to move on from a heavy place.
Nikazi.
Yes. Yeah, so willpower, those are the things we've been talking about lately, like just having the willpower to move on from there and understand that this is actually happening.
Yes.
And it's okay.
Yes.
Maybe it's not okay, but we can find a balance.
Yes.
A balance. You
yes.
see what I did there?
Yes,
we can find a balance.
Yes, you can find balance.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having the time to come for the show. And we hope we can have you again. Mupatie kas. 145 boothers. Musiede kuigin. Okay, not boother. Maybe not. Yeah.
Yes.
Mpatieni kas. Yeah, you're safe. You're in safe hands. And I shall see you kwa ile tent ya yellow.
Yeah.
Ile kwa pale nyuma.
Yes.
Sawa. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been the 145 booth. Thank you so much for sticking by until the end. And I hope that there's a lot that you're learning with us. And we are a safe space for you. So don't feel as if you're alone. Community, balance. We are here for all that. Thank you so much. Follow us on all our social media platforms at the 145 booth. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the 145 booth. Comment, like, share. Tell us what you think about the show. Let us have conversations. Please come, and if you're not okay, literally, we are your safe space. So send those messages and we shall be able to be there for you as much as we can. Again, the 145 booth is not a supplement. Is that it? Is that the word?
That's the word.
Is it? Are you
That's
sure?
the word. That's the word.
We are not excusing the fact that you need a therapist when you really need one, right? So just go seek professional help if you need, but we are here for you. You need us as your community, perhaps. Yeah, but we are here for your community. So be with us and we shall be here for you. This is the 145 booth. I'm your host, Lydia Ndwika.